Hey guys, how you doing? It's my lunchtime again, and so I figured I'd do a little chit chat right now. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder right now, and my nose is mega shiny. So I am definitely going to be taking a few minutes to touch up my makeup. But I'm really annoyed right now because I just discovered a chip on my nail polish. Now I carry, oh, by the way, it's the middle one too, my middle finger. So if I'm gonna be flipping someone off today, apparently I won't be doing it in style, and I will be showcasing the fact that I have a major chip in my nail polish. But I'm curious because I already carry like a ton of crap with me every day in my bag, and I only notice it like when I go shopping and I'm hauling my bag around in a store and I'm like, sweet Jesus, what the heck is in this bag? But I feel necessary and compelled. I feel it necessary and I'm compelled to carry around a lot of stuff. And I guess I have two questions then. If you would like to see a what's in my handbag video, I would be happy to do that. But also I'm curious, how many of you carry around nail polish? Because I'm thinking I should probably start doing that now, so that way I can touch up during the day. Did you notice I got a little distracted because someone just pulled up next to me and was totally staring at me talk to the camera? How do they know I'm not talking on the phone? Why do I have to get such a look? Anyway, I'm curious if you carry nail polish around with you for doing touch-ups during the day. Because now I'm kind of wondering, man, I'm going to have to start carrying nail polish around. Do I put that in a Ziploc? Am I afraid it's going to leak everywhere? And those nail polish bottles are heavy. And I've already got a ton of stuff in my bag. And so, I don't know. I'm just curious. Is that what we're doing now? Are we carrying nail polish around with us? So anyway, as is usual, and actually as is necessary by what I'm witnessing, like I said, in the viewfinder right now, I have to touch up my makeup. And I recently had to upgrade to an even larger bag of makeup because now that I'm kind of out of the house all day, I don't care what kind of long wearing makeup you are, when you have potentially combination skin, it does not last. And especially if you've got allergies on top of it and you blow your nose, she doesn't last right here on your nose. And I mean, my hair is always in my way, and I'm always touching my face, trying to get my hair out of the way. And so I definitely wind up having to touch up during the day. I mean, at least once. I'm like not psychotic about it where like I'm living inside my mirror, but nonetheless, I need to do touch-ups. And so I'm now having to bring around quite a bit more, which is annoying because you know what? This little bag alone also is heavy, but I love it. It's from Sephora. It was one of their I think like a whole bunch of samples came inside this bag. Oh, I can tell you now. I didn't really want to tell you before because I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about, but I no longer, but I was actually working at Sephora. How fun does that sound? I actually wound up having a really good time there, which is strange because there's like a ton of videos on YouTube about people who have worked at Sephora, and they had nothing but nasty things to say. Like, honestly, I have to say that the Sephora brand and the Sephora company is stellar. Especially in reference to the way they take care of their employees. I mean, you got to remember they're a retail company, so they are driven by sales. And I used to run a business myself, so I can respect that. Not that that means anything except to say your job is to drive sales, honestly. But also, that being said, Sephora as a brand really is concerned about the consumer or the client. In that we're selling makeup and skincare, and we really want you to feel good about yourself. And so it isn't just about, can we make you buy as much as you can? It was definitely what will work best for you so that you feel the best about yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have nothing but complete and total respect for that company. Even more so, I did have to quit. It wasn't, well, actually, going in, it wasn't my intention to stay with them forever. But then as it turns out, I really loved the company itself. I also happened to enjoy everybody that I worked with. And having been a business owner and in business before, when I went there for just a part-time job because I had moved to New York and I needed money sooner than later. And so I thought during the holidays, why not go work someplace I love and be surrounded by all of those beauty products that I absolutely love, which I also wound up learning a ton about. But that being said, my intention wasn't to stay with them long term. But then as I was there, I realized I really like this company and I really like where I could potentially go with it. They are all about growth as well. So I don't know why I feel compelled to share with you the entire lineage of what Sephora is, but it was a really, really good time. P.S. I did have to resign because of scheduling conflicts. And I have to tell you, they wouldn't even let me resign initially. They said, oh, you've got scheduling conflicts? How about we give you about 3 months to try to figure it out? We'll keep you on staff, and we won't eliminate you from the employee system. We'll keep you on staff. I had to work 1 shift a week. That was awesome. And they gave me this amazing grace period in order to try to get my life back together or my scheduling back. Well, actually, it was kind of my life back together also, but just kind of to get my scheduling back together. Ultimately, I could not work weekends for them, which was really kind of a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday sort of situation. And I didn't feel right about that because hello people, it was a retail mall location, and if you can't work the weekends, although they never outright said that, that should be understood, you know what I mean? And so because of strictly scheduling, I was not able to continue with them. But just the fact that they were generous enough to give me that grace period, I think when you find my point, first of all, one, it was fun. I had a really good time. I kind of got the inside scoop on some things. I talked to a lot of brand reps and got some kind of inside information, which was how I learned that the Anastasia foundation stick was meant for people. It doesn't actually mattify your skin, but it isn't a luminous hydrating foundation stick, which a lot of them are. It's meant for all the other ones of us who don't want to look dewy through our foundation stick. And that was one of the things I had learned by speaking with a number of the brand reps there. So I learned a lot, had a lot of fun. The cast, as they call them, which is all the employees, were phenomenal. It was just a really happy place to work. And so it was a lot of fun being surrounded by all those products. I got to test and play. I matched people's foundations, their under eye concealer, and brows. Those were the top 3 things that I did there, was show them how to apply a brow, match their foundation, and then match the shade, and then also find them the foundation that complemented their skin's needs. And then also the under eye concealer. That was a big deal, which honestly, that's really cool because no one wants to look like a raccoon with wearing an under eye concealer that is too light, which that used to be my problem as well. Thank goodness I figured that out. Anyway, my makeup case inspired that entire conversation about how I used to work for Sephora. I loved it. I think they're an amazing company. I was surrounded by makeup on every one of my shifts, which was lovely. And I am no longer there, which is why I felt like it was okay to share that with you. And so I definitely need to touch up my makeup. I'm going to be using kind of like I did last week, although now I might wind up adding some other products to this makeup bag. I'm gonna use the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I'm gonna fix my nose because my nose, this is gonna make this very dark. I just realized, yeah, I'm totally in the dark. So, totally in the dark. I'm really not. I kind of feel like I'm an enlightened sort of person. But when I go to touch up right now, I'm going to completely cast myself in shadow. So I'm going to check out, and I'm going to catch you guys probably tomorrow when I'm driving my long distance, and I will kind of bring up some other hopefully interesting stories or pieces of information. Was the Sephora story interesting? It was definitely an interesting part of my life. I kind of didn't realize or recognize that I was going to be spending my time. But P.S. by the way too, I came from a very high stressful job. So to be able to go to work, punch in, work my shift, we were not like talking like major, you know, drama. This was not life-threatening situations. To be able to work that shift and then check out and go home mentally was also very, very satisfying. I'm not saying I am a very driven person, and I think honestly that's part of the problem, is that I may be overdriven and I kind of drive myself crazy trying to be perfect, trying to do the absolute best I can at all times, and you burn out. You can't sustain that level of enthusiasm for a very long time. And so similarly, when I graduated college third in my class. Yes, I was a little bit of a nerd or a geek, or I think I looked cute, but I definitely was into making sure I did well in school. And so I graduated third in my class, and I had about 9 months before my master's degree started. I think I've mentioned I've got a master's degree in social work, and I had about 9 months before the fall program. I graduated in the middle of the year, a semester early. Did I just say that? I graduated in January instead of May or June. And so I had all this time off, and I literally got a brain dead job. I worked as a cashier at a mini mart, where I sold cigarettes and lotto tickets and bags of chips and candy. And I needed a brain dead job. I had been obviously overachieving in school, and then also I was working about 4 jobs. Obviously not like crazy, but I was doing 4 different responsibilities, and I needed a brain dead job. P.S. in looking for that brain dead job, that was how I met my husband. Did I share with you? I don't think I did. That when I met my husband, I had been talking about him in some of my previous blogs. When we met, he was my boss. My God, I was like a cliche, like Lifetime movie, right? I worked at a mini mart, which was attached to an auto repair shop. And he was really the manager of the auto repair shop. But when our collective boss was not there, technically he was in charge, which I told him ultimately, I'm sorry, honestly, you were never in charge. You can think that, but you were never in charge of me. And so, yeah, hello Gina, hello Lifetime movie starring Gina Creone. And I guess just a little bit more about myself. I've just kind of opened the door a little bit. I told you I've run a business. My husband and I ran a business when we lived in Washington. It was an auto repair shop. And so I went from learning and practicing social work to running an auto repair shop. And I did every single thing except work on the cars. He worked on the cars. I did everything else. Scheduling, billing, taxes, ordering parts. I am actually ASE certified, if anybody knows what that is, Automotive Service Excellence. I hold 2 ASE certifications, which basically means I can talk to you and explain the way a car works and why different repairs are necessary and what's involved in all of them. I could talk to you about it all day. Can I actually do the repair myself? Not a chance. I'm not even sure I could replace a tire. How embarrassing is that? I think I could figure it out. But if I was like under pressure to have to quickly like change a tire, I couldn't do it. But I could tell you about it and why it's important. Anyway, enough rambling. I am going to go fix, and I will catch you guys later. Do you ever sometimes like find yourself asking yourself, like, is it me or is it the rest of the world? Is it me that thinks like there should be an order and a way that things work in this world, and then all too often you find out that that's not the way that it goes? I was not even planning on vlogging today. Honestly, I went to work this morning, so this is the only reason I have a little bit of makeup on my face. Although P.S. I am trying out one of the new Tarte lip paints that have been out for a little while, but it's new to me, and I'm loving it. Did you know they smell like, they almost smell like peppermint a little bit? So that was very exciting. So I'm enjoying wearing the lipstick in my home, which I actually don't typically do. But anyway, I wasn't planning on vlogging. In fact, I'm doing housework right now. My husband is doing like honeydew projects around the house. The laundry's going. It looks like it's gonna rain. It's actually freezing outside, even though tomorrow it's gonna be like in the 80s. And so this was not the plan. However, I just got off the phone with Kohl's, and I'm still like standing here kind of shaking my head. I'm going to try to explain the story very briefly because I don't want to bore you, but I want to make sure that you get the details so that you understand. And then you can tell me, is it me? Because I'm really feeling like it really can't be me. Let me show you what I'm talking about. My apologies that the laundry is running right now, which is right next to me, to my left. but I just wanted to show you this awesome doormat I got at Kohl's.com. So it's got some paws and bones on it, and it's gray, and it matches my house, and it's pretty absorbent too, so when the kids come in and out from outside and it's raining, it's pretty awesome. But I need to tell you a little story about it, so hold on. So I had a whole bunch of Kohl's cash and Kohl's credit and all this kind of fake money that I was being forced to use at Kohl's because I couldn't let it go to waste, and Kohl's was running at that point a 30% off sale. So I wound up getting, and plus I was buying online, I wasn't going in store, and so you had to hit that $75 so that you can get free shipping, because I truly refuse to pay for shipping. That really makes me grumpy, but I then wind up spending more anyway in order to hit the $75, so whatever. So I got that awesome looking doormat, and I had gotten a couple others actually for the entire house. I kind of replaced the entire doormat system. And so I used Kohl's cash. I wind up getting in the mail, in the shipping, a red one that had some leaves on it. And I had someone else entirely who I don't know, who lived, I think, in Michigan. I wound up getting their doormat that they ordered, yet they put my shipping label on it. So I called Kohl's.com, you know, I called the number, and they were like, okay, so we can't just send you a replacement. We have to do a return on the first order, and then we have to charge you the same exact amount, which I had to double check. But we'll charge you the same exact amount, and we'll just replace the order for you, and we will ship it to you for free. Well, that sounds like that makes sense. Honestly, I thought it was a pain to have to do the return first and then charge me again, but whatever. You know, that I don't really care about. No problem. My cute little doormat arrives a couple days later. No problem. I then get an email that says I have the amount of the doormat in Kohl's cash. I'm like, I don't want Kohl's cash. I just had to shell out more actual cash in order to replace the doormat. That should have just been refunded to my card, my Kohl's card in its entirety, because then I had to go and buy another one. I call Kohl's.com, which is actually their phone number, again, more of a waste of my time. And they're like, well, no, we can't issue a refund except in the manner in which you paid. I'm like, if Kohl's had done what they were supposed to do and shipped me the right item, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. She says, well, they should have applied it to your replacement order. Well, it's not my problem that they didn't, so you should fix it. I shouldn't have to keep explaining myself. I was like, literally like, I don't understand how common sense doesn't tell you how we should be resolving this problem. You should apply my Kohl's cash to my credit card. She says, let me talk with my supervisor. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm wasting time, but whatever. I was multitasking. And so she comes back on the line, long story short, she says, well, I have to tell you that Kohl's normally can only do refunds in the original manner in which it was purchased, and Kohl's cash doesn't ever get refunded to you in cash. It only can get refunded to you in Kohl's cash. But we're going to make a one-time exception for you. And even though I was getting what I wanted, I don't know, I might be just like stubborn today, or I don't know, bitchy, because I was like, I cannot let that go. I could not let it slide. I said, thank you so much for taking care of that for me. I appreciate you putting in the time. However, if Kohl's had just sent me the item I had originally ordered and didn't make the mistake, we wouldn't be doing any of this. And so I don't really give two shits about your stupid Kohl's cash return policy order that we are having right now. Oh my gosh, is it me? Is it me? Now, I'm not gonna let it ruin my day, but temporarily, my blood pressure went up because I was like, this is so easy to see. This is so easy to see. I understand the policy. I support the policy. I understand why the policy was put in effect. People would probably buy things with their Kohl's cash and then return it just so that they could get real American cash. I get it, but this does not apply. This is a completely different situation. And now I wasted time on the phone the first time on the phone the second time, and now I've wasted all of your time here on this vlog sharing this story with you, which means a great deal to me right now. But I bet when I'm editing this, I'm gonna be like, why was I so upset about that? Is it me? I think it's me. It can't be me. It's not me. Is it me?
What I just wanted to show you real quick was this awesome doormat. It's got balls and pones on it. Balls and pones? What the Bones and paws on it.